back to History Ignited, where we dive into real-life stories behind every name in Billy Joel's song, Read and Start the Fire. I'm Caroline.
Each week we look at one moment, one name, or one event from the song from 1949 to 1989. And we break it down for you in just a few minutes.
Hi all, I'm Amy.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Andrew. Today we're going back to the Cold War China with a deep dive into Zhou Enlai, the longtime premier of the People's Republic of China.
He is a leader whose complex legacy is still debated by historians today. He lived in difficult times and faced many hard realities in his life. He made some choices that helped people, but was also complicit in choices that hurt many others. So we will do our best to wrestle with this difficult history.
Listeners, this was one of our harder episodes to write, but actually it was a really good lesson in how you need to think critically about what you read and hear and test whether it's accurate. So as you know, we do our first drafts of each episode with Gen AI. But when we were reviewing it, something just didn't seem right. The info that we received was so positive and rosy, and that didn't square with what I know about this period in time. So Dave and I started doing more research, and we found a number of sites online, including Wikipedia, also use this very positive spin on Zhou Enlai. As it turns out, the story is way more complex and less positive than what we first read. So be sure to question and think about what you read. If Gen AI is pulling information from incorrect sources, what does that mean for what we can rely on? I want to ask Andrew your thoughts on this, because we've been having some really interesting conversations lately about Gen AI.
My thoughts is AI is probably humanity's dumbest creation because, A, a bunch of people are on ChatGPT using it for math tests. I'm kidding.
Ooh, anyone in your grade?
Also, let's see. One time I asked ChatGPT to generate a photo of Antarctica for some reason. It had a bunch of boats and planes, which if you look at real photos of Antarctica, you'll know that's not real. There's very few, if not none. And so I asked ChatGPT to take most of them away, and it just adds more. And so usually ChatGPT and other AI sources are not very reliable. Like back to, what was it called? The one with the crying cloud one? The singer who was deaf in 1 year?
Right, early on. Johnny Ray.
Johnny Ray. In our Johnny Ray episode when we were drafting, ChatGPT says that even though it was in the 1950s, he used one of those like high-tech hearing aids that were invented in the 2000s. Which is not true at all. And so it is extremely unreliable. Don't trust it.
Okay, so this message was not brought to you by ChatGPT.
It will take over.
It is something that we need to be thoughtful and mindful about. There's many things that Gen AI can help us with and make things easier for us in life. But like everything, we need to question and think hard and critically about what is put in front of us.
Be careful.
All right. And now back to our topic.
Back in one of our first episodes, Red China, we talked about the moment when communist rule began in China in 1949. Zhou Enlai was there from the start, helping shape the new government alongside Mao Zedong.
He stayed in power for almost 30 years, outlasting nearly every other leader during that time.
And he helped guide China through some of its hardest times, from famine to protest to international meetings with world leaders.
Zhou didn't always get the spotlight, but he played a huge role in nearly every major decision during that era.
One of Zhou's biggest early tests came during the Great Leap Forward in the 1950s. That was Mao's plan to speed up farming and industry, but it turned into a disaster.
Millions of people ended up dying from famine. Zhou Enlai didn't stop the program, but he did try to limit the damage. He quietly pushed for more realistic goals and helped get food to places that were starving.
He couldn't fix everything, but he was one of the few leaders trying to help instead of just following orders.
Then came the Cultural Revolution in the 1960s. Mao told young people to attack anyone seen as too old-fashioned, even teachers and scientists.
Zhou stayed in government, but behind the scenes, he helped protect people. He got medical care for targeted leaders, saved historical books and art, and warned others quietly when they were in danger.
He even tried to slow down the Red Guards, the groups of students who were tearing through cities looking for enemies. That took serious courage.
He didn't fight Mao out in the open, but he used his positions to keep China from falling apart.
Zhou was like the calm center of a storm. While Mao created chaos, Zhou kept the machine running.
But Zhou wasn't just focused on China. He was also one of the world's most important diplomats. That meant he helped build relationships between countries.
During the Korean War era, Zhou was one of the leaders shaping China's foreign policy. He warned the United States not to get too close to China's border, and when that warning was ignored, China entered the war to support North Korea.
That showed the world how seriously China would defend its position, and Zhou was at the center of those early Cold War decisions.
But years later, he helped China move in the opposite direction, towards peace and connection, with one of the biggest surprises of the Cold War, President Richard Nixon's visit to China in 1972.
Zhou helped arrange secret meetings to make it happen. Before Nixon's visit, China even invited the U.S. table tennis team to visit. That became known as Ping-Pong diplomacy.
When Nixon landed, it was Zhou who welcomed him. He led the talks that opened the door to better trade and communication between the U.S. and China.
He didn't just want peace. He wanted respect for China on the world stage.
That visit helped China join the United Nations, start new global friendships, and became a country the world had taken seriously.
Zhou Enlai died in 1976, just months before Mao. Millions of people in China mourned deeply. Some even gathered in protest when the government didn't allow a full memorial.
The people loved him, not because he was perfect, but because they saw him as thoughtful, loyal, and steady.
He didn't agree with everything Mao did, but he stayed loyal and worked from the inside to protect the country and its people.
That's why he's in We Didn't Start the Fire. Zhou Enlai wasn't loud, but he was one of the most leaders of the Cold War, both in China and around the world.
Okay, it's time for our favorite tradition.
The joke of the week. What did the dog say when he sat on sandpaper?
What?
That's woof.
That's a good one. I like that.
Doggy!
Thanks for listening to History Ignited.
We'll be back soon with another name from the song and the story behind it.
Keep asking questions and keep that curiosity going.
And remember, teach kids history.
Prevent repeats.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Adios. Au revoir.
All
Bye.
right.